Hi, I'm Bruce Busby, President of RootsMagic, and in this short video we're going to show you the new personal media album that we've added in RootsMagic 9. So let's go ahead and open up a person's edit screen. I'm just going to double click on the person to open up their edit screen. Now, you've always been able to look at the media by highlighting an item. So I could highlight the person, for example, and over here it shows me that that person has two general media items. I can click on that and I can see that. I can look down this column and I can see the media items. So I can see, if I click on marriage, I can see that there's a media item. And if I go down to military, I can see that there's a military media item, and so on. But you haven't been able to easily see all of the media for the person. Well, in RootsMagic 9, we've added this new side menu over here, and you can expand it if you want to see the actual text for what it is. But you have the info page, which is the edit screen as we've always had it. But we also now have a media page. And when we click on the media tab, it opens up the media album. I'm going to collapse this back up to make room. It opens up this personal media album for the person. So what this does is this shows me all the media items attached to this person. Now, this may include media items that are attached to the person as a general media. It might be media that is attached to facts for the person, birth, death, marriage, and so on. It also might even include media that is attached to citations attached to the person or attached to one of the facts. Now, by default, this is going to show me all of the media items attached to the person totally. Now I can actually click on that little drop list, and I can see general media, citations. These are general citations, residence, miscellaneous citations. So you can see all of the facts or citations for this person. And if a particular item has media attached to it, there will be a little asterisk in front. So I can see if I click on general media, it now is filtering it to only show me media attached to this person as general media. We have these two items. If I go down, I can see residence does not have an asterisk. So if I click on that, I'm not going to see any media. Okay, military, I'm going to click on military, and military has a media item, and so on. Now I'm going to go back up here to all media, and I want to show you that there are two different views. The default view is going to show you thumbnails, and as you move from picture to picture within the thumbnail, you're going to see the edit panel change. You're going to see the thumbnail over here, and you're going to see the information that's editable. But you also have a list view. And the list view shows you a bit more information. It shows you not only the caption, but it shows you the name of the file itself. And it has a very small thumbnail. And selecting an item in here works exactly the same as doing the thumbnail. So whichever you're most comfortable with, you can switch back and forth between those two. Now, as I highlight a media item, over here, as I mentioned, I'm going to see the thumbnail, and I'm also going to see information that I can edit. The type of media, that could be an image, file, sound clip, video clip. The file name, I can go over here and click to open up the file dialog and change the file name if I need to. I can enter a caption. I can enter a description. I can enter an optional date. That can be the date of the picture, or that can be the date you added the picture. It's just a date to use for anything that you'd like. The reference number, this is an optional reference number in case you happen to have your own filing system for maybe the original pictures. You can put that reference number in here. And then you have two options right here. Do you want to include this picture in the scrapbook or as the primary photo for this person? You also have the ability to see the tags. In other words, to be able to see where this is used. So for example, if I'm highlighting the Harris children, it shows that this is used 5 different places. Now when I click on that, it's going to show me there are actually 5 different people. Now this might not be just people. This might be facts. This might be places. Basically, it can be anything that uses that can be attached to a picture. Now, one other nice thing that we've added in RootsMagic 9 is whenever you're looking at the tags or the used list, in the case of if you're using sources or you're using tasks or you're using addresses, is we've added new buttons up here that let you do things like if I want to add another tag to this picture, in other words, if I want to tag this picture to something else, I can click on this and I can tag a person, a family, event, source, citation, place detail, name, task, or an association, and then select which one that is. I can add a comment. I can choose whether or not this is the primary photo for that person or whether to include it in the scrapbook for that person. So I can add new items for that picture right from here. I can also remove it. So if I decide that Hazel shouldn't be associated with this picture, I can click the delete and it'll ask me, do I want to remove this tag from the media? Okay, and I can actually remove this person from that media. I can actually, if I want to see Hazel, I can click on the little pencil and it actually opens Hazel's edit screen. So I can actually edit whatever record is actually attached to the media. If I go down here to Pearl, click on that, I can edit Pearl, and so I can see right where this particular thing is used. And then I can also, you also have the ability to edit the link or the tag itself. So if I decide that I don't want this to be Pearl, but I want it to be somebody else, I can click and I can choose another person, or I can switch it to a family. So in other words, I can actually change this particular tag. So you have the ability to do all of that. That's all new in version 9 as well. Now if I want to add pictures, I can come up and I can click on add, and I can add new media. And I can either do that by going in here and clicking on the file name and selecting a media item, entering a caption, description, and so on, or I can select drop new media. Now this is handy if you want to add more than one picture or more than one media item at a time. You can open up your file dialog, your operating system file dialog, and select multiple items and click and drag and drop them right here, and it will add all of those media items all at once instead of having to do one at a time. On the other hand, if I want to add a picture to Leroy here that I've added to somebody else, I can say select existing media, and I can see all the media items that I've added to this database, and I can just select one and I can click OK, and it will let me add another media item to Leroy right here without having to go select the file. I can just use one that's already been added. If I want to remove an item, simple, I just highlight it and click the little garbage can, and it'll say, do you want to remove this media from this record? Okay, and what that's going to do is actually take this picture out of this person. It doesn't remove it from the file. If there's other people that are using it or other records that are using this media, it doesn't completely remove it from everything. It only removes it from this one record. Okay, I can also, if I click on this little thumbnail over here as well, let's say I highlight this one right here, this deeds recorded. Well, if I click on this picture right here, it's going to open up the image in this viewer, and I can zoom in. I can use the little plus and minus to zoom in, or I can use my mouse wheel, and so I can zoom in to see a lot of detail. Now what's really great about this is I can also edit the information. Now this is the same edit panel as we have right here. What's nice about this is I can click on description, and I can actually just transcribe whatever's in there. So I could just start typing deeds recorded in the Warren County and so on. I can enter whatever I want, and so I can actually transcribe this right here just by basically doing that. And you'll notice when I close that, what I had transcribed is right there, so it's still available right here. It's just a nice way of being able to zoom in as much as I want to on a particular record. If I happen to do this on a census record, you know, I can go in here and I can zoom in to one particular place. I can expand this window to make it larger, but I can zoom in and go right in here and transcribe it right from there. Finally, what I want to show you is another thing that's new is, let's say I'm looking at the general media. So I'm just looking at the two pictures that are attached to Leroy as general media. I can now click on this little button right here to rearrange the media. So right now Harris is coming before Leroy. So if I click on that, Harris is before Leroy. Now I can either take the highlighted item and click move down, you know, or move up. So I can move an item, highlight an item, move it up or down. I can sort it by the date field if I've been using that, or if I just want to use the mouse, I can click in the little green header here. So I can click on Leroy and drag Leroy up. So in this case, I have Leroy before Harris, which is different from what it was. Click OK, and you'll see it's now switched. Now Leroy is going to come before Harris. And it doesn't matter how many pictures. I could have 30 pictures in here, and I can go in and rearrange them like that. But now what's nice is now that Leroy is ahead of the Harris children, when I come back to the person's edit screen, let me go back in here. When I come back to that person's edit screen and I look at the media, you'll see Leroy Harris is ahead of the Harris children. Okay, so changing that order is going to change that order wherever you're going to see it. Now you can only rearrange media for a specific item. So you can rearrange the media for a person generally, or for one of their facts, or for their name, or for a place. Any individual item that has more than one picture, you can rearrange the pictures for that. You can't do that for pictures generally, like for example, all the pictures in the whole database, because pictures can be used by more than one record. So basically the rearranging is going to be limited to rearranging the pictures for a record. Anyways, well, I hope you've enjoyed being able to see how the new personal media album works, and I hope you find that useful. And we'll talk to you again soon.